Welcome to the Leftover Pizza Pod, everybody. We have myself, Kyle Looney. You can follow me at the Clutch Kid on Twitter, and then with me we have Cody DW Kelly. You can follow him on Twitter at the Monarch 1111. How's it going, man?
Wrong. DW Kelly 111.
Thank you. I didn't have it up.
It's going all right, man. How about you? I did post it on our Pizza Pod Twitter. Your boy had nose surgery just 2 days ago, so I'm working through it, working through it.
How's it feeling? Is it, it's so you can, breathe better?
Yeah, I can't really breathe right now, but, my mouth breathe through this thing, and I'm going to make it through.
All right, man. Well, I hope it works out. If it does work out well for you, I might do the same thing because it's hard for me to breathe out of my nose as well.
All right, what do we got today, my man? What do we got?
All right, so first up on the docket, we posted this on our Twitter page. Someone from our high school, college years passed away, Trevor Moore, who was in the Whitest Kids You Know segment. He played the guy that killed Abe Lincoln in one of the skits.
Oh, yeah. The impact I believe this dude had on just our senses of humor and all throughout college, or, when you hear or watch something and you just quote it nonstop until it's overly annoying.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm pretty sure at one point, maybe my ringtone was from that Abraham Lincoln skit, where when one of our buddies called, it would just say, "Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up."
That's awesome, man. I don't remember that, but yeah, it seemed like for a while, just everything they were posting was just a banger. And he was the catalyst of it all.
Yeah, they really shaped almost, I would go as far as say, a whole generation of people's senses of humor with the different little skits and comedy bits that they were putting out.
Yeah, and they're all on YouTube, so if you've never heard of them, go check out Whitest Kids You Know. And it's, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, they posted some of these videos. They're really good. They're really funny. T's and P's to Trevor. Hope everything goes well with his family.
T's and P's, R.I.P.
Next, we did play our Madden game yesterday. For those that tuned in, thanks for joining. It was a slugfest, man. We don't really have too many of these defensive battles, but we rarely have defensive battles, but
it was the weather. It was a snowy game. It was a windy game, and it all came into play.
Yeah, your guys were jamming me at the line, and they could not get open with the usual tricks that I have. So it was really rough for me to do anything on offense. And then the one time I was able to score, I got called back for holding. But we found a way to get it done in the second half. And what happened on your field goal, man?
I thought I hit it at the right time. I thought I did, but it went wide left. Apparently, I don't know. I was pretty upset. That was a heartbreaker.
I can imagine, man. I just assumed it was going into overtime. I was trying to calculate how I was going to do a drive with I had 20 seconds left or something to try and get a field goal.
Yeah, I think we were on pace for 4 overtimes if we would have went to overtime, because neither one of us wanted to score any points.
Yeah, it was rough. It was big turnover game. But as you can see, 9 turnovers between the two of us.
Oh man, my quarterback had some throws where he was just throwing it to nobody. And, to your guys, not my guys. I had Kittle I tried hitting him once, and he threw it like way to the middle of the field, completely away from him. It was a mess.
Yeah, there are some
I'm upset.
really,
I mean,
really,
I'm
really bad
heartbroken over that.
throws. Really bad throws, but hey, we got maybe one more season left before we kick it into the next Madden, but we'll see how it goes. If you guys care to follow along with us, let us know in the YouTube comments. But we did not have a winner in our giveaway, so we'll probably think of something else here to do another giveaway here in the future, so just stay tuned.
And actually, yeah, if you guys got giveaway ideas, hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter. Give us ideas for giveaways, and we will be sure to take those into account and hopefully get some stuff to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thanks to all those who participated, and we'll move on and see what happens next year. Next, some breaking news that's been going on in the football world. I know you don't know much about it, but
No.
the rest of the world does, and that's Lionel Messi, who is arguably, the greatest soccer player of our time. There's usually debate between him and Ronaldo. But he is finally leaving Barcelona due to money issues, and he's a free agent in the soccer world, and he just signed with PSG, which is Paris Saint-Germain. And I made a little joke in our group text that he's pretty much doing the old Barcelona 2.0 at PSG because he has the same superstars when Barcelona was absolutely killing it when they had him, Neymar, Di Maria, and they have all those people now again, and they have Mbappe. PSG is going to be something to reckon with here in the future.
So, how much do you think this impacts the world of football for the rest of the teams, the rest of the world going forward? With Messi was making quite a bit of money.
Yeah, he is, and they had I don't know if I can find it. They broke it on ESPN that it's only a 2-year deal. I believe him and Ronaldo each plan on coming to the U.S. to finish their career, much like David Beckham did. And let's see here. 2-year deal, doesn't say the amount of money yet. I'd imagine it's over $100 million, which is absolutely insane.
Do you think if either one of those two guys actually came to the States to play American soccer, that would actually tip the needle in popularity here among the States for MLS?
It might. I mean, it depends on how good they are. Like, when Beckham came over, he was, he boosted the popularity a little bit, but his age was catching up to him. He wasn't as good as he once was. There was another superstar that had came over a couple years ago, Ibrahimovic, whatever. He had a huge leg, and he didn't really tip the scale like people thought they would. But I imagine Messi and Ronaldo would. They actually had a friendly in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when we were in college, and it sold out like instantly with both their teams. So we'll see. It'd be cool. I'd imagine they'd still be way better than anybody in the MLS if they came over, even at 45-50.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. We had somebody send this in to us. Who would you take out of these? 2012, which is our college years, people that we grew up watching. We've pretty much seen every one of their entire careers play out on the top. And then the bottom, which they're still playing to this day and age. I think I knew who I would take. What would you take and why?
Are we talking about, not just those players, but those players at that specific year?
Um, yeah, I think it would be that specific year as because it's 2012 versus 2021.
All right. Okay, so we don't know how the bottom technically stacks up for 2021. We can go off of what we've seen, but if we're going 2012 versus 2021, I feel like I just at top. It's usually there's the term power bottom, but that's a pretty powerful top. Uh, Peyton Manning, that's right after his surgery. So that's right when he came back and was playing for the Broncos. So not his record-breaking year, but he still went out and he had a good year. Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, those are it's like one-of-a-kind talents of our generation, even though Peterson had his issues and Calvin Johnson, he kind of had a short-lived career. Brandon Marshall was a catch machine. Rob Gronkowski, everybody knows how Rob Gronkowski was from since entering the league, and especially his first 4 or so years after entering the league, he was a monster.
Yeah.
What do you got? What are you thinking here?
So I'm thinking you're leaning towards the top then.
I am.
I am as well.
Also, one more thing. One more.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, that was his 2012 was his 2,000-yard season.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking about Peyton Manning coming off his neck surgery, signing with the Broncos. He had a really good year still. A lot of people counted him out. A lot of people were cautious about him coming back from the injury. And this is Adrian Peterson right in his friggin' monster season. 2,097 yards, 12 touchdowns. Guy was a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, so imagine the top 5 on the same team, the bottom 5 on the same team. I mean, no defense is going to stand a chance with any of them, but I would think that it would be a lot harder going against the top screen just because, I mean, Mahomes is, obviously super gifted in everything that he does. But the knowledge that Peyton has of every defense and how to put his guys into the position to succeed. I mean, if you have Adrian Peterson, he can just hand it off. If you have your 2 safeties not in the box, he's going to hand it off to Adrian Peterson, who, like you said, had his 2,000-yard year. And then Brandon Marshall, who just runs like a madman. And Peyton Manning loves those bubble screens, and Brandon Marshall with Rob Gronkowski and Calvin blocking for him on those bubble screens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely I would definitely take the top, and I do think it was a chance that recency bias might pick the bottom, but I think once you really think about it, I think the top is the answer here.
I mean, yeah, the bottom, it's no case against them. I mean, you're just having the absolute studs at the top, because we're talking 2012. Not only is that Adrian Peterson's 2,000-yard season, that's when Calvin Johnson had almost 2,000 yards receiving. That was his big receiving year, too. We go into Brandon Marshall. That was his first year with the Bears. 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. So 2012 was almost the peak of these guys' careers, except for Peyton. But Peyton's Peyton, basically regardless of the year.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the bottom, these guys are arguably the best at their position currently. So, maybe we go into 2021, year finishes, Patrick Mahomes, extra game, puts up 60 touchdowns. Maybe Derek goes for 2,000 again. Vontae, I mean, heck, I could see him breaking the reception record.
Yeah, especially with the way Aaron loves to find him.
Hopkins is getting up there in age, but the dude's still a stud. And Travis Kelce, because that's apparently how you pronounce his last name, Kelce.
Oh,
Uh, he is at least a top 2 or 3 tight end. A lot of people have him number 1.
yeah. Yeah, he's definitely number one in fantasy, but as far as actual football, I think that's debatable, but he's really, really good. Yeah. Oh, well, let's see what else we have on the docket here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so we got, we're going to break down some divisions for you guys. We're going to do the NFC South and then the NFC East. So
Ooh.
let's see here. Let's go to win totals. Let's see where they rank here. So NFC South, I guess we can start with the Falcons. Their win total over under 7.5 games. Juice is on the over. What do you think about that?
My bias wants to take the over with them just because they got the Titans' old offensive coordinator, Art Smith, there um, running things now in Atlanta. I don't know if they have it in them to get to that 8-point mark. They got questions at running back still. They got a little bit more questions at receiver with no Julio. Is Kyle Pitts going to be that stud that everybody thinks he's going to be? And then their defense, let's see how that shapes out. Now they were kind of reeling a little bit towards the end of the year last year after getting rid of their coach. So maybe that momentum from the team, Matt Ryan, he's still Matt Ryan. He knows how to win. I would have to take the under.
Yeah. I mean, 7.5, 7. I think Vegas hit it on the head. I think it'll be hard for them to get to 8, especially in that division. I mean, they got the defending Super Bowl champs. The Saints, they might be able to split a game with them depending on who's the quarterback. And then maybe split a game with Carolina. They also are going to lose a home game this year because their home game is going to be in London against the Jets.
Well, at least it's against the Jets still.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But London, it seems like the underdog always wins in London. Like the Jaguars were always winning in London.
You know what? Maybe. I mean, the fact that is this FanDuel here? FanDuel's giving them 3.5 more wins than what they had last year. That's kind of high expectations for them. So, they only had 4 wins last season. Does the extra game help them get to 8? I don't see them doubling their win total.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. They got they got the Eagles, Bucks, Giants. They're going against the NFC East this year. And then the AFC, they're going against the AFC East, so they're going against the Dolphins and Pats. And Jags and Bills. Shoot. Yeah. Maybe their schedule. No, I'm going to take the under as well. And also, they were one of the healthiest teams last year. And as far as like division placement, shoot. I guess I'll probably put them third in the division.
Third. I'm wondering who you'll have fourth. Okay, let's go. I see the Panthers right below them. What we got for Carolina?
Yeah, let's take a look at the Panthers right here. 7.5. The same.
Same line, same line. So FanDuel's giving them an extra 2.5 games over their win total last season. They were 5-11. 2-6 at home. Man, it's just hard. These two teams, especially, I feel like it's very hard to judge if they're going to take the step forward or kind of stay where they're at. For me, it's hard to tell. It's year number 2 under their coach, so maybe he makes that step. I don't have the confidence to say they'll hit 8 games.
Yeah, we'll see. They got Sam Darnold now, so that's going to be a huge question mark whether he's going to succeed like Tannehill did out of the Adam Gase umbrella. Let's see here. Last season, the Panthers had the second toughest schedule in the NFL, and they had the second most one-score games at 11. And then they only went 3-8 in those one-score games, so they kept it close. But I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't really believe in Darnold. I think
I think that's the question.
I think Teddy helped save them. I think Teddy helped keep it close. I don't know exactly what his turnovers were last year, but I imagine he didn't turn it over that much. And then Mike Davis was a running back last year, right? After McCaffrey went down?
Yeah, McCaffrey went down. I mean, a healthy McCaffrey, that might help, but does that give them an extra 3 wins?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mike Davis did pretty well as a backup. I mean, I would
He
say
did.
I would say the under as well.
So would this be the team you have last place in that division then?
Yeah, I would be having the Panthers
Okay,
in
that's
last.
what I thought. That's what I thought. I think I'm pretty close into agreement, and I think for me it comes down to Sam Darnold. I don't trust the guy. I really don't. I wasn't a big fan of him coming out of USC, and that all spawns from when he and our good old Western Michigan Broncos went out to USC and faced the Trojans, and Darnold was just not very good.
Yeah.
So I figured if he can't do it against the Broncos, I don't see him doing it against the pros.
Yeah. I mean, there's some flashes of brilliance from him, but it seemed like most of the time he was making bad decisions and bad throws. It didn't even seem like he was that accurate. All right, so what's the next team that's going to be here in alphabetical order for these guys?
Saints.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Saints. New Orleans.
9 even for the Saints.
So I'm guessing, their reasoning is the lack of Drew Brees. They
Yeah.
are in the middle of a quarterback battle between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, so we still have to see how that plans out. There is the Michael Thomas news that he ignored multiple calls from coaches during off-season rehab for about 3 months. He apparently wasn't getting back with his coaches. It kind of seems like a little bit of a mess down there.
Yeah, and they lost a ton of people on defense. They had to release because of the cap issues, and then they got Taysom on this, like 4-year deal that's all voidable.
Yeah.
I I am gonna be taking the under on the Saints as well. Especially if Taysom Hill's starting. I don't believe in Taysom as a quarterback. I think they are much better off keeping him as a gadget guy. How they've been doing it just because it messes up defensive personnel. They have no idea what to send out there as far as nickel, dime, or base.
If Jameis can limit his turnovers, maybe they can get to that I mean, you're talking 10 wins still. Maybe, but keeping Taysom as that gadget player might definitely help them out. I think I'm going under also. This division seems like it's Tampa Bay's to run away with. The loss of Drew Brees is definitely going to hurt this team. Can Sean Payton have Jameis Winston looking like a Florida State stud?
I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
what is Sean Payton's record without Drew Brees the past 2 years?
They were doing well with Teddy Bridgewater when Drew went down. They did decent with Taysom Hill starting when Drew went down.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be too
They
bad
went
of an
12
issue.
and 4 last year.
And also, when Taysom was quarterback last year, they Kamara really wasn't in the game plan, and he's their best player by far. So
Right. Yeah. I'm sticking with the under. I don't see them getting over that 9-game hump.
yeah,
I think actually 9 is probably right at the level I would have them.
yeah, I would say I would take 8. Yeah, I'm taking the under for sure. Great FanDuel wants me to log back in real quick. All right, and let's check out
So
these
then-
Super Bowl champs.
Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are returning, I believe, every single starter to their squad. Tom Brady's a year older. They got all their boys back. What do? What's their win total here?
11.5.
They hit 11 wins last season. Does the extra game give them an extra win? We are predicting this division to all go on the unders. Is that what helps tip them over?
Well, I'll go ahead and start off with my thoughts. I would take the over if I had to on this one. This would be a really tough one to bet for me, but I would take the over. Like you said, they're having everyone come back, and they were just hitting their stride last year. Like, they didn't have any mini camp because of COVID to kind of get in sync with each other. It seemed like they weren't even really in sync at the beginning of the playoffs. It didn't seem like they really got in sync until the NFC Championship game. And then once the Super Bowl hit, they were on all cylinders. So
That is a good point. That
And-
is.
and their schedule is
are
supposed
we
to be
gonna-
the 5th easiest schedule this year in the league.
So are we? Is Father Time finally catching Tom Brady?
I'm not betting.
I think we
against
both
it.
agree no, right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. I still think I'm gonna go with the under because 12 wins is hard to get. An extra game, sure, that might help, but what, 11-6 or so? That still seems like in the NFL it's hard to win, so many games. I don't see it happening. Where's the juice at?
Let me see if I can take a look here. It is on the over.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the safe bet and go under.
All right. So out of these 4 in this division, is there any of these win-loss totals that you would actually bet on?
I think I would probably do the Panthers. I would go with the under on the Panthers. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I would be willing to throw out, maybe about 3 to 5 units on the under,
Oh, wow.
but I don't the Panthers having that kind of an impact. how does McCaffrey come back from the injury? Is he the big stud playmaker that everybody thinks he's going to be? Madden has him as the best running back. Is he going to prove it? But still, 8 games, I don't see him hitting it. Lock that one in for me.
All right. We'll go ahead and lock that in, and then we'll see at the end of the year. We'll keep tallies on everything. If I had to choose one, it would be the Saints under at 9 games. I don't see them getting 9 games, over 9 games. I don't see them. I can see them pushing, but seeing them getting 10 wins, I don't know about that. I would take the Saints under, and then I could push as well since I don't have that 0.5. That's where I would go. And
you're saying you are more confident in the Saints to not get over 9 games than you are the Panthers not getting over 7.5.
Yep.
I don't agree with that.
Yep.
I don't agree with that one bit.
I might not believe in Darnold that much, but I do believe in McCaffrey. And I believe in their defense a little bit better than the Saints' defense.
Now, while you pull up we're going to do the NFC East. I'm having a little bit of a nose issue, so I will be right back.
All right, sounds good. All right, so while Cody's out, so we got the Dallas Cowboys at 9.5. The juice is on the under for 9.5. I am not so sure why it's so high. I'm guessing it's because Dak is back and Zeke is in the best shape of his life. Are they predicting them to win this division then? Let's see here. Championship. Yeah, so they got the Cowboys winning. So that's why they got it so high.
They trust the Cowboys, huh?
Yeah, so they're trusting the Cowboys. Their win-loss total is at 9.5. So that's probably going to be the highest. What do you think about that?
I want to trust them. I really do. I want to say the Cowboys can do it. It's hard. I do think they win this division if Dak's healthy. Just based on, Zeke. Zeke is usually a lock to at least, be a reliable running back. There's questions with the Giants. There's questions with Washington. The Eagles have a new quarterback also. I think the Cowboys with a healthy Dak should be able to win this. Did you say that was at 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5.
Getting to 10 games might be tough. I'm not willing to do the over quite yet. Maybe you can talk me into it.
You want me to talk you into the over?
Talk me into the over.
I can talk you into the under, but I'll see what I can do to talk you into the over. So the NFC East is once again expected to be the worst division in the NFL. The Cowboys have the 7th easiest schedule this year based on win totals. The Cowboys had bad luck injury and ranked 5th in adjusted games lost by the Football Outsiders. And not only did they lose Dak, but they ranked 2nd in the most adjusted games lost due to injury on the offensive line. Because they had Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, and Zach Martin. So, assuming they get that offensive line back.
Me into it. What's the where's the juice? Where's it at? Is it on the over?
The juice is on the
under.
What do
we got with this over?
They lost on the under. All right, so here's another stat. So before Dak got injured, in their 5 games or whatever, they turned the ball over 11 times, which was the most in the NFL. But
Oof.
they fumbled 8 of those 11 times. So if they can stop the fumble issues, they would only have 3 turnovers.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Tell me, what's the odds for the over and what's the odds for the under?
All right, so
What
the
do we got here?
over is at plus 15 or plus 115, and then the under is at minus 135.
You talked me into it. I would do the over.
All right.
Let's ride with the Cowboys this year. Let's do it.
All right.
Go Cowboys.
I
Texas forever.
will be taking the under on this because their defense was so terrible last year. This year they're slated to face 6 quarterbacks that ranked in the top 10 last season as far as efficiency per play. And then, so Dallas, as we know, is America's team. They get most of the media hype. They usually have a really good roster, and that's thanks to Jerry Jones, but they always perform average. So Dallas is usually overhyped, and their futures are usually inflated because of that. So if you would have bet the under on their win totals since the year 2000, you'd be going 14-7 on your on that. So I'm gonna go ahead
with that 7.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the under because I think getting 10 wins is gonna be difficult for them just based on that defense. I do believe in Dak and I do believe in Zeke still having a little bit in the tank, but I'm gonna go with the under.
Yeah. You know what? All reports out of camp is that CD Lamb is a stud. So if he can have CD, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup all on that field with Dak staying healthy, I'm still riding that over. I'm talking myself into it.
Good.
Not confidently, but I'm talking myself into that.
All right. So New York Giants we have next. Their over/unders at 7. Juice on the over at minus 130. Under is at plus 110.
I'll let you start. I gotta think about this one.
Well, the Giants at 7 wins. They just had didn't they just have something break out in camp like a fight or something? Or no, they had a guy retire. They had their lineman retire.
4 guys retire.
Yeah,
I mean,
having them doing sprints. Joe Judge had him ready to play last year. I don't know how much things have changed, but they already were weak on the offensive line to begin with. But they do have Barkley back this year, and I think that'll be huge for them.
there are questions about if Barkley will be ready to start the season.
Oh, yeah?
There's questions.
Well, they do have at least a little bit of firepower. They had Galladay. Is he going to be there?
Oh, yeah. They did pick up Galladay. They still have Shepard and Slayton, who they had down years last year, injury problems, what have you. But the year before that, both of those were prime breakout candidates at the receiver position.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and I just don't have any confidence in taking the over at 7 wins, so I'm going to take the under. I think Danny Dimes is too turnover prone, and that might be because of the offensive line being terrible. Danny Dimes can run. I'll probably take his over on rushing yards in most of the games, depending on what it's at. But I just don't see them getting over 7. I think 7 might be right where they finish at. I think that's a good number. I'm not going to take the over, though.
Yeah, they hit 6 last time. I think I'm riding with you on that under this time.
Yeah, and it's at plus 110, so you got the juice going in your favor, so you're getting plus money on it. I'm definitely gonna take the under on the Giants. Next, we got the Eagles at 6.5 wins. How do you feel about them having Jalen Hurts now?
Jalen Hurts showed flashes last year. There's been multiple reports, whether true or not true, that, Deshaun Watson is a target of theirs. I'm getting more and more to the opinion that I don't think Watson's going anywhere. Not this season. It's getting pretty late into the year.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be going anywhere either.
Getting Hurts, he's kind of an enigma, and he's kind of exciting to see what happens with him. I feel like he could end up being a popular fantasy football late round flyer pick at quarterback for some teams, especially in deeper leagues. I hate to keep saying it, but it seems like a lot of these win projections depends on the play of the QB.
Yeah. Yeah. I From watching Hurts last year in the few games he played, I think he gave the team enough juice.
Gave him a spark
to keep going. I would take the over. I would take the over on this. So
I'm
that would be
the overs plus money.
The over is actually minus 150, so it's plus 125 to take the under here.
Oh. You know what? I think that tipped it for me. I would take the under just to get that plus. I wouldn't be very confident. It'd be similar to with the Cowboys, where I'm not very confident of it. But, eventually, that plus sways me. That plus, I'm a sucker.
Yeah. I'm going to take the over, but I probably would not bet that. The last...
Yeah, the law of averages almost. If the Cowboys would be hitting 10, I would have to expect that some of these other teams in their division would be a little bit lower. Because I kind of expect the wins for the Cowboys to come from the division more so than outside the division.
Yeah. The last one we have is the Washington football team, and it's at 8.5. Over is at plus 100. Under is at minus 120.
Okay. What are you thinking? I think I have my early thoughts. I'm wondering if you're going to sway me.
All right, I'll go ahead. I'll try and sway you. I'm going to take the over on this one. And reason why is just to see how well they played defensively last year, and with how good Chase Young is. I mean, he's a special talent. He is. I think he's going to be. Yeah. He might be the next J.J. Watt as far as the face of the NFL on defense with how he played last year, and that was his rookie year, just learning the game. Let's see here. What else? They drafted on defense. They got Ryan Fitzmagic now. And we know he knows how to win some games, and he has TMC, Scary Terry, out there with them. They added Curtis Samuel from the Carolina Panthers. So I think they'll hit the over. And then they also have Heineke still.
Heineke, I think at one point, based on his playoff performance, I think he might. We start going from Ryan Fitzmagic to Ryan Fitztragic. I think Heineke might make that jump and get some chances to play.
Yeah.
I think this team is set up to win. I really do. I am with you on On the over, I am actually with you. That's the one I was leaning towards. Uh, they just got a good defensive squad, a really good defensive line. They got young running backs that can, hopefully get in there, run the rock for them, help out these QBs. Have some solid weapons on the outside. Obviously, Scary Terry, he's getting up there as one of the better receivers in the league. Curtis Samuel, he can do a little bit more gadgety type plays. He can take sweeps. He's a big impact player. Their offensive line is decent. Logan Thomas at tight end. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it's going to be between, I believe, the Cowboys and the Washington football team this year.
Yeah. So, which out of those over-unders are you going to bet on any of them?
The one I would be most confident in would be Washington.
Yeah, same here. And I don't know if I actually did put a bet on them, but I might go ahead and put a bet on them for their over. But I did, however, put a bet on them to be division winners in the NFC South, or
Okay.
NFC South, NFC East. And they're at plus 260 to be the division winners. And pretty much anyone, if you have
Solid,
if you have a good feeling, any one of these teams in the East is at plus money, and it's anyone's game, so you can take anyone. But I think the football team at plus 260. I like those odds.
I do too. I do. I know I was talking myself into hyping up the Cowboys, but those odds are definitely solid. They have the best defense in the division, and as we saw with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, everybody's going on about Tom Brady and the Super Bowl, but they do not win that Super Bowl without their defense.
Yeah.
And I believe Washington's defense is better than Tampa Bay's defense. It just depends on, can this offense, do their job, which isn't a lot. They could get by with a game management, ball control style play with the occasional big play from their outside receivers.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you would put money on the Bucks to win the NFC South. They're at minus 185.
I mean, maybe in a parlay, I probably am not putting too much money on a minus 185.
Yeah, the Saints are plus 330. But yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. I'm not putting any money on it unless, like you said, unless I can parlay it with something else that I think is pretty good. If you guys want to mention some divisions that you want us to look over for next episode, go ahead and leave them in the comments. We haven't decided who we're going to look over next.
We're going to try to get through all of them before the start of the season. So, if you got your team, you want us to talk about how good or bad they are, you want us to stroke you off a little bit, get your ego going. It's training camp, man. Everyone's excited about their team right now. You go out there, you see all these videos on Twitter, Mr. Wide Receivers making all these amazing catches. Your 6th-round rookie is looking like a stud. He's going to be an all-star. It's exciting times, and let's be excited.
Yeah. Football's right around the corner, guys. We finally have had some games. Even though it's preseason games, the regular season's right around the corner. We're going to be having some longer episodes once the season starts. Appreciate you guys all watch. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and leave comment, like. Go follow us on Twitter, Leftover Pizza Pod. We'll have all the details on any future giveaways come out on there. And
yes, and like we said, make sure you leave us comments. Give us little stories you see, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter. Follow us, guys. Follow us, interact with us, because you give us content. We have a whole bunch more to talk about. I feel like our Twitter game is pretty good. We just need those follows still. So follow us, share us, find us and interact with community.
Exactly. All right, I appreciate you guys all for watching and listening. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.